Alrighty, so for our week 7 attendance, I have met several of you now at this point through the Dev Zero process, and it's really fun to get to know each of you individually and see the code and talk about your code. And I know that, based on various factors, you can have a varying response to having this kind of code review done or asking to develop this level of code. But I can tell you and I'm probably repeating myself, but it's where students say they learn the most. And I know for me, it's where I learn the most. So, one thing I want to say before I just quickly look at the work for this week is now that by this time that you've seen this, most of you or over half of you will have been through your code reviews. I just wanted to say, okay, let's just talk about for a minute the devs going forward. In general, my suggestion is to take whatever you did for Dev 1 into Dev 2. Okay? So let's just look at Dev 0 into Dev 1. So if I look at just our class going forward, you can see I'm on the week prior to the beginning of week 7. So when I roll forward, our next dev is on the 24th of March. Okay, so that's your Dev 1. So a couple weeks ahead, we have some content that we'll, of course, cover and we'll see that integrated. So, in general, what I say to students is when possible, take the dev code for Dev 0 and modify it, refactor it, bring it up to speed for your Dev 1. Now, you don't have to do this, and every student is unique in the way that they want to approach this. Here's what I would say. Just know that if you change your topic, you still need to meet the basic requirements of Dev 0. Okay? So it's okay to do it. Just know that that's true. And again, this is really where I suggest coming to talk to me. We have had at this point, again, some of you, a chance to talk about kind of where you're going with this, but I wanted to make this a little more like just my perspective of what I see, because when you use the same concept going forward, it really allows you to create depth in that code base. And then I think it really extends your knowledge, but I also think there's a benefit to starting over because the idea is coming up with an idea and then implementing it. But to kind of help you, and I want to just throw a warning here. This is actually, I may modify a few requirements here, but what I did is I put in the Dev 1 requirements. Okay. So you can take a look at these, think about them, ask questions about them. But I at least wanted you to have going forward that those, what they're going to be. Okay. So you have that idea. Okay, so what are we going to do this week? This week is functions, starting with, I think it's 8 and 9, pretty sure. Oh, 9 and 10. Okay. So actually, we've done this at 9. Okay. So, oh yeah, this is fun because we learn about nested data types, and nested data types are so common in at least JavaScript and Python. So it's good to have an introduction to them here. Next week, week 8, we will have a learn together where I'll have you implement something in a nested, either nested list of dictionaries or vice versa. Okay. And then in this case, in 10, what are we going to work on? I've already done it. I just have to remember. Yeah. Oh, this is great. So we see functions with outputs, right? So this is the returning a value from a function. And this will be, you'll see it in Dev 0, but understand Dev 1 is understanding how to pass data into a function and then how to return a value out of a function. And this is such a fun one to get to do. We do a calculator here. And I really think these 2 days, 9 and 10, are really starting to set some of the core concepts that you're going to need for Dev 1. So just know Dev 1 works as far as scheduling the way Dev 0 did. I will have schedules ahead of time. I will always let you know when I broadcast them. It was great because many students got in there, got on the list. Some didn't. We had to reschedule. That's just or schedule something outside. That's what happens. But anyway, so what would I want in this reply? Like, I would like to see if you've gone through the process, what, the code review process or developing it, or do you have thoughts about whether you're going to continue your concept forward or whether you're going to change your concept completely. So I'd be interested in that. And if you want to review Dev 1 and ask me any questions about that, again, this is a draft. I should put that on there. Things are subject to change here, but that is where we're at. Anyway, have a great week. Talk to you later.